In this episode 18, I want to talk to you about facing the fear of failure. Failure holds so many people back in life from taking action and getting closer to their own success. So if you are struggling with the fear of failure, this is going to be an episode for you. Let's go. Welcome to the Depression Talks podcast. My name is Emmanuel. I'm a YouTube creator and certified life coach dedicated to changing the mental health stigma. On this podcast, we openly talk about depression, anxiety, and low self-esteem, but you'll also hear some coaching tips that has helped many people take action and transform their lives. No matter what you're going through, I promise you are not alone. Do you want to unlock cool swag rewards like access to the private DT Nation Facebook group, early access to all the podcast episodes, or a chance to get a 30-minute one-on-one chat with me? Of course you do. Go to patreon.com/depressiontalks and subscribe today to get these swagalicious perks and even more fun stuff. The link is in the description of this episode. I believe that these rewards will definitely make you smile. I'll see you there. Facing the fear of failure can truly be a struggle, and I want to start off by saying this. I do struggle with facing the fear of failure. Even today, a lot of people might see me as successful, but I still face the fear of failure. So I think it is okay, but when it becomes a problem is when it stops you from taking action in your life. When you say to yourself, well, I am afraid that this is not going to work. I am afraid that this will not be successful. I'm afraid that I am going to fail, so I'm not going even to take a chance at trying to make this thing work. That's when it becomes a problem. So I'm going to give a few examples or reasons to help you look at failure in a different way, so that way you understand that failure is okay. It's actually part of the process towards success. So the first thing I want to say is this. Failure is a direct correlation to growth, okay? Because a lot of us view failure as, well, if I failed at something, then I didn't make an improvement. If I failed at something, then nothing has changed. Nothing has gotten better. But that's not true. Every single time that you fail, it gives you an opportunity to look back, take a step back and say, how can I learn from this? How can I grow from this? How can I get better? Let's take a really hard example, a breakup, okay? A lot of people view relationships when they don't work out as a huge failure. They feel like they wasted their time. They feel like they didn't learn anything from the experience, but that's not the case. Even through a breakup being a failure, quote unquote, you can still take a step back and say, this taught me what I don't want into my next relationship, what I do need to work on myself before I get into my next relationship, and maybe even show me that I don't need to be in a relationship right now. I need to be working on myself. So again, failure is a direct correlation to growth. Also, failure is not a reflection of who you are. I want to say that one more time. Failure is not a reflection of who you are. When I was younger, and I feel like a lot of people are going to relate to this, I tried to approach girls and sometimes I would get rejected. Now, I used to view rejection as failure because I failed at my attempt of trying to wow this young lady and things like that. But the older I got, the more I realized, how come I felt like so down? Like, why was I feeling so depressed after each rejection? And it's because I used to think that each time I got rejected, that was direct correlation of who I was as a person. Because they don't want me, I am not good enough. My character isn't good enough. The way I look isn't good enough. How I act, what I wear, nothing about me is good enough because I failed at trying to wow this girl. But what this now teaches me is that, okay, I go up to a girl and I may approach them and they may reject me, but I am not failing in who I am. That my character is still the same, regardless of what someone else thinks. My personality is still the same regardless of what someone else thinks. What I wear and how I choose to carry myself is something that is my own decision, not the decision of someone else. So again, failure is not a reflection of yourself. The third thing I want to say about facing the fear of failure is that it makes you a freaking beast. Do you know how much strength it takes someone to fall down and get back up? How much strength it takes someone to say, I have failed multiple times and I'm still not going to let it hold me back from my goals, my dreams, and my ambitions. It takes a freaking beast, and I want you to be inspired. I want you to know that you already have it in you to be a beast, because you are a beast. But these mindsets hopefully will help you shift your way of thinking, so that way each time you fail at something, you're like, I got this. I'm a beast. Not only am I a beast, but I'm going to learn and grow from this. And I understand that it is not a reflection of who I am. Be a beast. Face the fear of failure head on. I'm going to try and do the same. I am scared, y'all. I'm not gonna lie. I am scared. I am scared of failing. If I may be blunt, which I always am. Recently, this podcast is been featured second on Spotify if you type in depression in the search, and it comes up second. A lot of people are DMing me saying that they're enjoying the podcast, or how much it's helped them grow as a person and helped them change and just figured out hope. And that's awesome. That's great. But then I think to myself, wow, well, what if this podcast one day just isn't good enough to be in that spot? What if this podcast, people don't want to listen to it? Or what if my YouTube channel doesn't grow? We're almost at 10,000 subscribers in DT Nation community on YouTube. And the more that I see things happening in a positive way, the more I fear I will fail. So this message isn't just for you. It's also for me to understand that, hey, let's not be so hard on ourselves and just enjoy the process. Enjoy the process. Whatever you are trying to work towards, whatever you're trying to achieve, enjoy the process. Learn, grow, and let's face the fear of failure together. If you enjoy listening to the podcast, make sure to leave a review, because it helps this podcast get in front of more people, which helps change even more people's lives. So make sure to leave a review. Also, if you like early access to all the podcast episodes, a chance to get a one-on-one video chat with me, or even other swagalicious goodies that I didn't even mention, go to patreon.com/depression talks. And I guarantee you one of those swagalicious rewards will make you so happy. So check that out. The link is in the description of this episode. And of course, if you're interested in one-on-one coaching, go to emmanueljones.com and schedule your free session today. All right, I think it's time to end the episode. As I always say, do you stay swagalicious and keep smiling. See you in the next episode.